Calen Scholl. The North American Free Trade Agreement has destroyed over 700,000 jobs in America and tripled the amount of undocumented immigrants in our country. Everyone in this room has heard about U.S. President Donald Trump wanting to build a wall to stop illegal immigrants from entering into the United States in Global Issues class with Mr. Rash. But did you know that this would not be a problem if it wasn't for Nafta? The United States government should renegotiate the North American Free Trade Agreement. First, I will discuss the problems of Nafta. Second, I will explain the proposed solution and its benefits. First, let's start with the problems of the North American Free Trade Agreement, more commonly known as Nafta. Thomas Nisavaco, who graduated from DePaul University and works for GSA, an independent U.S. government agency, for 10 years, in the dissertation, Nafta, Its Effects on Corn, Migration, and Human Rights in Mexico, published by DePaul University, August of 2017, states that the North American Free Trade Agreement, which came into effect January 1st, 1994, is a trade agreement between the United States, Mexico, and Canada, whose purpose is to gradually break down trade restrictions and barriers between a period of 10 to 15 years. But this trade agreement has caused many problems in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. The first problem it has caused deals with employment. NAFTA has not done enough to protect workers in North America. Ray Berard, who has a master's degree in history from the University of British Columbia and is the executive director of the Labor and Work-Life Program at Harvard University, and Semantic Scholar, published February of 2013, states that currently Mexico has some of the lowest labor costs, wages, and benefits of any country in the developing world. This is because NAFTA has allowed the United States government to subsidize farm products in Mexico. As a result, 1.3 million Mexican farmers have been put out of business. NAFTA has also had a negative impact on workers in America. Jerry Pacheco, who is the CEO of the Border Industrial Association, which has provided over 4,000 jobs for Mexican immigrants, in the Albuquerque Journal, published September of 2016, states that over 700,000 American manufacturing jobs have been lost as productions move to Mexico. This happens because American companies can pay workers less in Mexico and not pay any taxes when transporting their products back to the United States. The next problem NAFTA has had is the influx of illegal immigration into the United States. As NAFTA destroyed small businesses and farms in Mexico, more people began looking north for opportunity. This caused a dramatic increase of illegal immigration into the United States. In the years leading up to NAFTA, an estimated 3 million illegal immigrants lived in the United States. By 2005, only 10 years later, an estimated 11 million illegal immigrants were now in the United States. This is almost 4 times as many. The United States Department of Homeland Security, which was founded by former U.S. President George Bush in 2002 and is responsible for public safety in America, and the assessment of NAFTA visas issued by the United States Department of State, released July of 2018, states that in 2009, 100,000 NAFTA visas were issued by the United States Department of State. Only 7 years later, in 2016, over 800,000 NAFTA visas were issued. This is a problem because an estimated 44% of illegal immigrants in the United States are overstaying these NAFTA visas. Now that you understand the problems of NAFTA, let's talk about the proposed solution. The solution to these problems is a new trade agreement proposed by U.S. President Donald Trump. The United States government should replace NAFTA with the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement. The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, more commonly known as the USMCA, is a signed but not ratified new trade agreement between the United States, Mexico, and Canada looking to replace NAFTA. The USMCA was signed September 30th, 2018 by all 3 countries. Although this sounds like progress, everything needs to be proposed and approved by each country's legislature, the hardest of which will be the United States. This is because the Democrats took the formerly Republican House of Representatives in the 2018 midterm elections. Most Democrats do not want a new trade agreement, so getting the approval from the House will be a time-consuming task. Now that you understand what the USMCA is, let's talk about how it differs from Nafta. One of the most notable changes in the USMCA proposed so far has to do with the way cars and trucks are manufactured. Chuck Grassley, who has a master's degree in political science from the University of Northern Iowa and has been a U.S. Senator for 37 years, in the Des Moines Register, published October of 2018, states that 40% of vehicle parts will have to be made by workers making at least $16 per hour by 2023. It also will require 75% of each vehicle to be made in North America. This will ultimately benefit the workers and bring more of those manufacturing jobs lost by NAFTA back to America. The USMCA will also create tighter environmental standards. Katie Lebowsko, who has a master's degree in business journalism from NYU in the publication Democrats Signal Concerns on NAFTA Replacement, published by CNN November of 2018, states that all three countries have committed to addressing overfishing, the illegal wildlife trade, and logging. The USMCA will require a review every 6 years with a 16-year expiration date, requiring the three countries to adopt a new trade agreement at this time. This differs from the outdated NAFTA deal that has been in effect for over 25 years. First, I discuss the problems of NAFTA. Second, I explain this proposed solution and its benefits. The United States government should renegotiate the North American Free Trade Agreement. Let's bring back those 700,000 jobs destroyed by NAFTA and bring prosperity back to this country.